but fair to us is like just being good people. Like when we talk to our customers at a sales appointment, or we talk to them for me in marketing, or our production manager, Matt, when we deal with our customers, the one sentence that I always say to everybody is, treat this house like it was your grandmother's house.
Okay, guys, this is Bill Jordan here, and I want to bring to you a unique set of people. And our mission in life is to keep America beautiful. All right, and today is no exception. We're going to start with our first maiden voyage with Keeping America Beautiful, Allied Pros and Tradespeople. Our guest star today is Kevin Daly of Homeglow. Now, Kevin is a interesting person, but here's the question. There are two questions. Who's Kevin, and why should you know him? So, hi, Kevin. How you doing today?
Hey, Bill. Good morning.
Great. So who are you? Why should we know you?
Yeah, so the gentleman, I don't know if the people watching this will be able to see video here, but the gentleman sitting next to me, or the other voice that you're going to hear, is my business partner, Tom Pastrito. So the reason that you should know us, we're a local business, but we've done some pretty amazing stuff over the last 7 years. So we actually started out friends a really, really long time ago, and joined forces about 4 years into each one of our business journeys, which started separately. We formed a business about 3 years ago, a new business together called Homeglow Painting, and it's based out of Princeton, New Jersey, and we have really big ambitions and plans for the future. And we basically both started off, like I had said a minute ago, separately, and in like a bootstrapping fashion, where it's like one guy running a business who's doing everything himself. He's like, dipping brushes in the paint, running the estimates midday. After that, he's making material runs, and then somehow by the end of the day, even though it's been really, really chaotic, he's pulled it all together and he's made it happen.
And he's still alive, right?
Still alive, yeah. Alive. Yeah. Even though we're young, we both we both did that for so long that we got sick of it, is what happened. And then we found a new way of doing business. We're both very ambitious people, and that's something that sometimes you could train somebody on, but usually it's just a built-in characteristic. At least that's my own personal belief. And we took the time to find a new way of doing business and start to create some really interesting business systems that are simple to follow and replicate. At this point, go ahead.
What are these new business systems?
Yeah, so our business systems, pretty much our business consists of what Tom does, which is he's our sales manager. I manage marketing, which, Bill, I know you have a background in marketing, and then we have a production manager. So we've broken the business down into 3 separate parts: sales, marketing, and production. They all act kind of like, I'm sure most people watching this have heard this before, but like a well-oiled machine. There's very clear lines of communication between each department in our business, and we all have set responsibilities and goals. I feel like that's one of the biggest mistakes that business owners will make, is that they don't actually have clear agreements about who's responsible for doing what and how they're supposed to communicate with each other. Especially in this day and age, that's super important.
And so how's that important for the consumer?
Yeah, so for the consumer, we're able to deliver them a uniform experience every single time, which is a great thing, because when we get referral work, it could go one of 2 ways. Like that's one of our biggest streams in marketing is referrals. We use a service called Home Advisor, and then we have a lot of organic traffic on our website online, and we've done a lot of work with all of those. But when it speaks to referrals and why it's important for our consumer, for example, pretty much when somebody's calling our company to get a paint job done, really what they care about in the end is that it's done correctly and they're getting what they paid for. So I guess we would speak more about production in that sense. So with the production systems that we have set up, when Tom or one of our salespeople goes to conduct a sale and run an estimate, he makes a lot of promises to them in writing. Now, the lines of communication between sales and production at that point are very, very important to our consumer, because if any communication breaks down, they don't get what they were promised, even though they may have believed that they were going to when they had a 2-hour meeting with one of our salespeople.
So you have
yeah.
Before I ask you, are you guys getting feedback on your site?
No. No,
Okay.
not really any feedback or anything like that.
Okay. Tom, could you give me an idea? What, like, I'm Mr. Homeowner. I'm Mr. America.
Hmm.
I call up your company, Homeglow. Say, yo, my man, what's up? Come on, give me an estimate.
Hmm.
You show up. Take us through the process.
All right, so basically it starts off with the initial call. So I give you a call, or you give me a call, and we basically talk a little bit to get to know what you're looking for and understand, what's being painted, what's not being painted. By the end of that call, we set up an estimate, and then shortly after that, we figure out the day, the time, and then we show up. Um, After we show up, it starts off with a little bit of we call it a client manual, and what that does, it
I'm
gives
sorry, would you call it a what?
a client manual, and
What's
what that is, it's basically information on us, our warranties, some insurance information, stuff like that, and also some references. It gives the customer a little insight on us, on who we are, because sometimes it is a random customer that could be coming either from organic and they like to understand who we are. So after the client manual, we actually we dig a little deeper to see what's being painted, what may not be painted, and then we do the estimate. We take measurements with the customer, and then we get into more like job specifics, which room by room, ceiling, walls, trim, stuff like that, what's being painted. And then,
Tom, with all respect, man, I have some painters in here last time, and those guys, they promised me all this stuff, but like, man, I had to have my floors refinished, the walls were all dirty. How do you guys safeguard against that?
Yeah, so I'll take this one if you don't mind, Tom.
yeah.
So one thing with what Tom was just describing at like our sales appointments, after he does the walk around with them and he takes all those measurements and everything, we actually deliver them a written service agreement that's super, super detailed. He's taken really detailed notes when he's walking around with them. That serves as like marching orders for our crew when we turn it over to production. We don't actually collect our final payment from the customer until we've done a final walk around, which is like a punch list. And the punch list where we get that from is the written service agreement that we create with the customer together. So we don't have, nothing's perfect in all reality. Like in contracting and life, nothing ever works perfectly all the time. But when we do have an issue with our company or when something does happen, we have a person dedicated to each and every single project, like our production manager who we were just talking about, who his responsibilities, if you look down like his employment agreement, is that he's to speak with the customer and our painters every morning at 9 a.m. At noon, he gets picture updates from the painters of what's going on. And then he speaks with the customer again in the evening during the whole duration of the job. And then at the end, he actually goes with our painters, and does a final walk around to make sure that everything's been delivered upon. Sometimes if paint spatters or something like that get on the floor, things happen. It's not like, I wouldn't say it's a commonality in our business. It doesn't happen all the time. But we always, if you ever did any research on our company, if you typed in painters in Princeton, we're the #1 company that shows up on Google. And if you saw all of our reviews, you'd see that we have very positive feedback. And the reason for that is because we really, really strive not to leave anyone unhappy, even if we end up losing a little bit of money on the job. And that's happened.
So of course, I mean, we've been there, but Kevin, like you're in Princeton, like, you guys must have bigger brains down there or something. Is that how it works?
No, definitely not bigger brains, but our customers have bigger wallets, and that's why we're here.
Okay. Well, it's bigger. So let's flip on through. This is your logo, right? The Homeglow.
Yeah, that's our logo. The guy who had originally built our website 7 years ago, we're actually revamping our website this year for 2018 to get some better conversion rates for our online people who visit our website. We're making it easier for them to actually get an estimate from us. Right now, if you look at our website, you have to scroll down the entire page if you're on your desktop computer or laptop, or on your phone. You got to scroll all the way to the bottom of the main page before you can actually like submit a request for an estimate. So we're spending like $2,000 this year right now as we speak, actually, to revamp our website and like get it in really good working condition so we could grow our business even further this year. So yeah, but he originally designed the logo there. Yeah, and he did an excellent job, in my opinion. We love the
Yeah,
Homeglow
that's
H.
nice. So now that ties us into these. You have 5 principles of your company. Like the first one is like fair.
Sure.
What you
Yeah,
talking about?
so I could go into that a little bit. So yeah, the first principle that we're looking at, that's a little clip from our website. So fair, I think what it means to me and Tom, and I could probably speak for both of us and chime in if you want to, Tom.
Yeah, definitely.
But fair to us is like just being good people. Like when we talk to our customers at a sales appointment, or we talk to them for me in marketing, or our production manager Matt, when we deal with our customers, the one sentence that I always say to everybody is, treat this house like it was your grandmother's house. And if something goes wrong, react as if you would react as if it was your grandmother's house.
Yep.
So now that's an important point. When you speak to your crew, I mean, from my limited experience in the business, that's one of the major issues that we have is, your crew, your workers, your labor.
Yeah.
So can you speak on that? I mean, when you come to my home, can I know that these guys are they safe, or what do they spit on the floor? What's up?
Sure. So some of the qualifications to actually paint with our company is that you have to be a non-smoker. That's number one.
Really?
Okay. Yeah, we don't. It's really through my experience, it's a habit that's I'm sure I know people that have smoked for years, and like it's just very difficult difficult habit to quit or get away from. And I feel for everybody that has that kind of addiction. Everybody's got some kind of vice in life, something that they like doing, and if that's like it just doesn't mesh well with like a clean job site, and like a lot of people, especially in Princeton, especially interior jobs, that's like people do not like that. So that's one of the things, we don't hire smokers. The next thing, as far as like as managing the crews on site. Now, some of our guys are of like, they're from other countries and stuff. They're guys like Spanish guys and stuff like that are excellent painters, but their communication skills when it comes to English are actually lacking a little bit. That's another reason that we have a dedicated project manager, because these guys, they not only do they deserve employment more than other people who might speak better English, these guys work really, really hard. They deserve the work. They're very polite, nice people. They've passed background checks. They have work papers. We pay everybody through payroll, so they're all legitimate people that have come here the right way, like like you should if you are looking for employment. So we give people who deserve the work, who are the most qualified for the position. And if their communication skills are lacking, for us, that's not a deal breaker, because we have a guy in place who that's pretty much his job, to make sure that the lines of communication, again, are super clear between sales, marketing, and production. So to elaborate on that, yeah, that's like my take and our company's take on hiring painters.
Sounds good. What's next? You got flexibility. What does that mean?
Yeah, Tom could take that, because that's actually a sales discount that we offer.
Yeah, so what that is it actually helps both parties. It helps the customer, and it also helps our side when it comes to actually scheduling to actually do the work. So it's actually a discount that we offer. So what it does, it helps when we sign with the customer that day, and either A, they want to get started tomorrow, or B, they want to get started whenever it is. Whenever it can line up with our company's calendar. Yep. And exactly. So either they take advantage of it or they don't take advantage of it. Either way is fine, but we offer a discount because it actually helps us with scheduling. So say we are truly out a week from when we sign, and if they take that discount, it allows us to get our crew in order, or whatever may happen with weather, stuff like that. And yeah, it's pretty much like you scratch my back, we scratch your back kind of deal. And it works well, and it really helps us, and it really helps them too to save money.
Yeah, it's a true discount. It helps everybody involved. We save them like 5 or 10%, depending on how flexible they can be. And what that might look like is, like, we tell them, okay, well, we can't start for 3 weeks. We have work lined up for 3 weeks. So if you could start in 3 weeks, we could save you 10% on the job. So that's what flexibility is. And and if they don't want to take that discount, like Tom was saying, and they need a certain start date, then we've offered this to everyone, so we could call someone who might be scheduled this week and say, hey, since you took the flexibility discount, do you mind if we push you off for a week? Because we have someone who, so it helps us keep our schedule full and not lose any work. So that's actually what that means.
That's a great strategy. Very good, man.
Thank you.
You guys are doing very smart guys. You must be that Princeton air down there.
We're from South Jersey originally, so it might be Atlantic City air.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a different kind of air down there in Atlanta.
It is.
So what's this reliability, man? What's this?
Reliability, again, stems back to sales and production. One thing that we always tell all of our salespeople, we're in the process of training a small sales team for our Princeton location this year. Right now, that's another thing that we have going on, along with revamping the website, because everybody knows, like I had talked to you recently, Bill, and work slows down in the winter for everybody in contracting, so we stay busy in the winter by making a great plan for the year coming up. So the reliability, to jump back to that thought, what that means for us is that we tell our salespeople that we're training right now, basically, look, man, you need to show up at your appointment 30 minutes early and sit down the street. That way you're not late. There's no excuse for us for being late for when we say that we're going to show up to actually do the job, or for our sales appointment. Traffic, that's not a legitimate excuse for us in our company. So we show up 30 minutes ahead of time, sit down the street if we have to, and maybe review our sales process or do a couple of flashcards or something like that.
So let me ask you this. I mean, I agree with you on that. I don't think there's before this call today, I was like, okay, 10:30, quarter, I'm ready to go,
Yeah, for sure. I can see that.
And I said, and I know Kevin's ready because he's a bad dude. How did you develop that type of ethic? Because, nothing for nothing, man. Some guys just, they get there after, or, you know what I mean? How did you get into that?
I wasn't always that way. I just turned 31 today. It's my birthday today.
Oh, congratulations. You look like 25, man. What you got?
Well, thank you. So I wasn't always that way, and I don't think that Tom was always that way either.
No, definitely not.
When you're a young man, you look at things a little bit differently. One thing that changed both of our perspectives huge is to become a business owner and have some responsibility. To be honest, for me to sit here in front of you today and say that we're like perfect people or that we've always been this way isn't true. The way that we developed it is just responsibility. Yeah. When you do something, one of the principles in our company is integrity. If words come out of your mouth, if you tell a customer that you're going to call them on Monday at 6 p.m., right in front of me right here is my planner. So if you were to look inside of that, it's full of the next 2 weeks worth of activities. So if I told somebody I'm going to call them at 6 p.m. on Monday, I'd take a couple fail safes for that. I schedule an email to send to myself, as a reminder. I have a program in Gmail that allows me to schedule emails for the future. So immediately, as soon as I get off the phone, maybe it might be Friday, I say I'm going to call you at Monday at 6 p.m. I schedule an email to send to myself on Monday at 5:30 to remind me to call them, and I write it in my planner. So I'm real big on time management and alarms on my phone and scheduling emails to myself, and also managing my time in a paper planner, because too, Bill, that not only do we have the painting business, we have a couple other things going on also. We actually have 6 businesses in total. So
that led me to, I was thinking as you were talking about this skill about time management, and it seems to be that because you say you're in business, you started becoming very conscious of time. But it just seems like there's something more to it. It seems like it's part of your character, as who you are as a person.
I think that as you grow, you have a choice every single day to develop character. That's what I believe, that you can always, even as you age and become, sometimes as people age, they become smaller and they're not necessarily growing in a physical sense anymore. But I believe that people who have aged over the years, they can always grow as a person. I really believe that the older you get, the more opportunity that I've seen people have to actually become a better, more knowledgeable and more wise person. There's people that are working 2 hours away from us today up in New York City that maybe they make $2 million a day or something like that, big executives. That person wakes up with exactly the same amount of time as me or you. The way that they've been able to leverage their time is through training people and becoming really good with managing their time. I think that's one of the keys to becoming whatever your definition of successful is. If you need to be able to manage the time that you have. I have also, on top of the other things that I have going on, Tom has a wife at home. He's a grown man. You know, he's a year older than me. He's 32, and he's got a lot of huge responsibilities between his family, his 5 brothers and sisters, lots of nieces and nephews that he also has to balance out. And me, I have 5 children at home and 1 on the way.
You have 5 children?
Yeah, I do.
Whoa, man.
21, my daughter was born.
Oh, my God. You're a still driving man, boy.
I always love people's reactions. I've heard a lot of different ones.
What about this trustworthy stuff?
Trustworthy. So if you would prefer not to be on site while we work, you can trust us to be inside your home. Yeah, so that refers to just our hiring process, background checks, and sizing up character of the people that are going to be working in your home.
I got you.
That's simple, that one.
And I just think that, to me, it also means that if you say you're going to be there on time.
Exactly.
Time.
Yep.
If you say you're going to do it, you do it.
Yeah.
In other words,
yeah.
like word is bond. You know what I mean?
Exactly. High quality.
Right.
So that speaks to the type of materials that we use, which Tom could tell you more about.
Yeah, so we recommend a certain type of paint, which is Benjamin Moore.
Mm-hmm.
And there's different prices. No matter what type of paint. I mean, there's different categories of paint. You got the real cheap stuff, you got the middle grade stuff, and then you got the high end stuff. So we recommend Benjamin Moore. And with that, we know what Benjamin Moore does. It's been in this area too for a long time, as well as Kevin and me using it, in our past experiences too. So with high quality, should come a great job. So that's something that we always look to, because we want to leave the customer happy and not, dissatisfied by the end result of the job. So high quality for us is very important. Whether
ties into your guarantee. Is that correct?
Yes, of course, definitely.
Yeah, Tom could tell you about the warranties also.
Yeah, so we offer 2 warranties. So we offer a 2-year warranty and a 5-year warranty. And what that means is 1 coat of paint is covered by a 2-year warranty, and 2 coats of paint is covered by a 5-year warranty. Now, unless it's like an act of God or something, or like
a tree falls on the house or something like that.
Yeah, or one of Kevin's 8 children come scratch the wall or something. Then no, we don't cover that. But if it's something on our end, I'm sorry.
Acts of God. Oh my God.
Yeah, so that's actually listed in our warranty, and it's pretty common. It's a standard.
It's a standard contract thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty much fancy wording for okay. So an example of that interior, this wouldn't necessarily be an act of God, but it would be faulty workmanship of others. Like if you had an electrician come into your house after we painted and he cuts a hole in the wall.
Well, now
outside, if a tree falls on the house or if there's like excessive weather, like there's a hailstorm, we don't really get those around here, but one of the guys that's one of our mentors is from Colorado, and they get hailstorms out there. So that when there's a hailstorm and hail is pelting the house, they don't come paint the whole house again for free. It's an act of God.
Oh, okay, cool, man. Now I know I won't go to Colorado for painting.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you might want to go there, man. Colorado's pretty. Their economy is 180 degree or 360 degree turn from. Yeah, you got it, and that's the reason why, Bill. Yeah, you've got it.
Oh wow.
So we got this nice picture here of this mammoth place.
Yes.
Run it, man. What's it all about?
Yeah, so that's one of the houses that we painted. Actually, this house I can't take full credit for because this is a house where we did just trim work. If you were to look closely at that photo, it's actually vinyl siding. Which
I was going to ask that question. I said that looks like vinyl.
Yeah, you'd be right there in that assumption. something pretty interesting, Bill, that they just came out with. I think, to the best of my knowledge, within the last couple of years, they have from Sherwin-Williams, which we don't really use often unless the customer is really requesting it, but from Sherwin-Williams, they came out with a product or a line of colors where you can actually safely paint vinyl siding now. And a lot of our marketing efforts are going to go towards that this year because we believe that there's a pretty big untapped potential there.
Well, let's talk about that. Now,
Yeah.
So now, I guess the normal siding will last for like 10, 15 years maybe before it starts to fade.
Yeah, depending on how many coats of paint. So one coat paint job you can expect to last like 5 to 7 years, depending on weather. And a 2-coat paint job you should expect to last like 7 to 10 years before you start to see like breakdown.
I mean vinyl siding from the factory before it starts to fade or chalk.
Oh, actual vinyl. Yeah, I mean, I think the manufacturer warranty, to the best of my knowledge, is usually 20 or 25 years, the same as a roof. From what I remember, I can't speak for sure on that.
So like now, explain to me, what is the problem that you're talking about? You're doing a repaint over the original vinyl.
Yeah, so the reason in the past that you weren't able to paint vinyl is because vinyl siding is actually, you know how building materials expand and contract when the temperature changes.
Right.
So vinyl siding is the product that does that the most.
Right.
It really expands a lot in the summer and it really shrinks up in the winter when it gets cold. Right. So the issue with that, if you were to paint it, is that it tends to deteriorate or like chip and fray the paint prematurely.
Right, because it's always moving.
Exactly, and the paint, I guess, I don't actually know the technology behind it, but what my assumption is, or my gut feeling with this new product that they have out, is that the colors that they're guaranteeing to last on the vinyl, number one, they don't heat up as much in the summer, so the vinyl siding doesn't buckle, because that was one of the issues that they had with painting vinyl siding. If you painted it a darker color, it would buckle when the sun would beat down on it in the summer. The next thing was the flaking and the chipping that I was just talking about, so I'm assuming that the paint has different properties to it that allows it to have some more like elasticity to it, to be more flexible of a coating.
And before you go down that rabbit hole, new technology, new type of siding, interlocking siding, which they claim eliminates that buckling. So in other words, you can see like you could have a continuous line across. You won't see the butt joints.
Oh, really? Yeah, they must be longer lengths. I'm not aware of that, to be honest with you, Bill.
It's interlocking, so it's a smooth transition.
So the way that it interlocks now, you don't actually see a lap.
Yeah, right.
Oh, pretty neat. I actually, to be honest with you, haven't heard about that.
Yeah,
it's on that thing called, I think it's called AEC.
Cool.
You look up AEC. They have
a whole bunch of,
AEC. They have I'll send you the link. They have a bunch of like tutorials for this, that, and the other. The other day I came across that. It's locking.
Oh, that's interesting.
And what they do, they test it, on these high intensity mirrors that simulates years and years of wear and tear and all that kind of stuff.
Neat.
So, I'll try to find that information and shoot it to you. Okay, but enough of that. Let's get on to the next piece. This is the same house, right?
Yep, that's the same house. I think if we did preview your slides before we started the call here. So I think if you flip through, there's a couple. Yep, flip through one more. Oh, that was a nice one. Now this house right here, when me and Tom first started together, this has a pretty interesting story behind it. So we'll tell you a little bit about it. Me and Tom painted this house together, 2 men, and this picture does not do it justice. We were there for 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, 6 weeks. House. Yep, 10 hours a day, 6 weeks. We painted. Those are real shutters that you're looking at. So they're wooden shutters that actually shut over the windows.
Okay.
This house, I actually thought that you might ask us about this house. So this is Princeton Magazine. This is like a quarterly magazine.
Okay.
And this house is actually pretty interesting. The real estate agent that I had done some work for in the past and that we had worked with in the past, this house you see pictured here, and it's on sale for $1.5 million almost right now. The guy's moving, so I don't know if you could see that.
Yeah, I see it. Right.
So that's actually the same house right there, and we painted that house I think about 5 or 6 years ago at this point.
So why did it take that long?
2 guys, and we painted it. the old-fashioned way. So we did a really excellent job on it. We did also some carpentry work. Our business has changed a lot since then. Like I said, we don't paint anymore. We have our own departments, but this is like the grassroots of our company, which I think speaks to like hard work.
Well, no, it's like you made a mistake by investing 10 hours a day and doing it the right way.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you learn the hard way, Bill, you know?
That's a compliment, man, because I went to my father and I did a job, and we put 3 coats in the house, and like they never called us back. It was
Good.
for a long time.
Yeah, quality work. But I mean, the truth is, back then there was probably a way to do it quicker and just as good. We just did it the old-fashioned way, brushes, rollers, taking all the shutters off. I mean, I've watched a lot of painters since then. I'll be the first one to tell you, and Tom will be the first one to tell you to be like, this is a secret. We don't like painting. We don't actually like painting. You know what I mean? We have all the guys that paint for us are excellent. They're better painters than us. They're quicker. They're much better. And what we've come to learn over the years is that actually we're much better at hiring, managing, and training people than we are at painting, because we did excellent work, but there's guys out there who are super sharp, and we're looking for people in all the positions in our company that are actually better than us. We have our certain skill sets that we excel with and at. And
we
look for people who are better than us.
It's clapboard house, or is it siding?
Yep, clapboard. Cedar.
And you had to sand it down. Is that what happened?
No, we didn't actually have to sand it down. There was a ton of prep work. It hadn't been painted in close to 20 years, and if this actually looks like the whole house, but if there were a picture to the left of this, there's a whole nother section. It's a very, very big home. Yeah, and there's a lot of difficult to access areas.
Okay, now I got you. Okay.
That's what took the 6 weeks. Setting up everything and reaching out and being able to touch every single thing with a brush by hand. It's not like
all those windows.
Yep.
6, right.
Those are old storm windows also, so they have the glazing in between all the tracks and everything like that.
Oh man, now you're talking real language there.
Yep.
Okay, what about this guy here? You want to talk about this one here?
Sure, yeah, that was actually a police officer's house in West Windsor, and this was by the point where we started to hire painters. It would be nice to see a before picture of this house, but it looked very plain before this. The shutters, every single thing on this house was painted. It's a stucco exterior with some, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Drive It. It's like a styrofoam accent piece.
Sure.
So Drive It, like accent pieces all along the house. The one thing that we learned from this job is that when you paint stucco, you have to pretty much double the material needs, because I think this house used about 35 gallons, and it's not a very big house. It really, stucco really is, if it's never been painted before, it's porous.
If it's original stucco, that's why, because it's old.
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
So, what we used to do, what I found useful, just like giving a primer coat of, there's a particular stuff you use that seals it, but it's still going to take a lot of time. Let me ask you this. I like the color combination. Did you guys spec that?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you, Bill.
Did you spec the colors?
No, we have a color consultant that works at the paint store who does all of that for us. That's we pretty much, if somebody asks us our opinion on colors, we really don't get too involved with that, because we have again someone who's better at that than we are, so we just refer them.
Cool, man.
Yep.
It has a flag, keeping America beautiful. I love it.
I know. Yeah, that's a good picture, that one.
All right. So tell me about this beauty here. This is on some of your Princeton places, right?
Yeah, this is actually, from the inside, it looks like it might be a really, really big place, but it's just, I think it's a 2-level condominium. It's a nice condominium complex in Princeton, and we painted the whole interior. In every room, they had an accent wall. You're looking at it right there. And we were lucky when we went back to get photos of this, because it almost looks like we staged it for photos, but they just were very neat people with no children. Because if you looked at my house, it wouldn't look like this.
Well, you're a growing man. Now, what's this thing here about painted room, created wall? What's that about?
Sure. So the wording there isn't very contractor-like, and that's because our website guy, worded that. But basically, what it is that we had taken on some tile work with this job, which right now we don't do anything but paint. We did an excellent job on it, but what it comes down to from a business perspective is that yeah, we can do a lot of different types of work, and our guys are very skilled, but we learn for ourselves where we make the most money and what is the most headache free for us to produce. And for us, that's interior and exterior residential painting in high end homes.
Right. Stay in your lane.
Yep.
That's it.
All right, rap to me about this. What's going on here?
So this is another lesson learned. It turned out excellent. It's just like a tile marbleized effect. One of our painters, I can't take any credit for this, man. One of our painters, his name is Sam. He was with our company for quite a while, and he did really, really excellent work here, man. Beautiful stuff like gold leaf paint, and he would put in additives into the other colors so it would dry slower, and he would do all those swirling effects of tile. That's all paint that you're looking at there. And he was actually the only guy that ever worked with us that could do this work like this. And I almost wish that he was here to be able to tell you more about it. But pretty much, again, a little bit of a learning curve. We don't do this kind of work anymore. We do like very simple, like we paint pretty much like a couple jobs ago what you were looking at. We paint like solid colors on the walls. We don't do faux finishing because what I've found with this work, Bill, is that it's very difficult to come up with a system to estimate and price this kind of work because it's almost like an artist, and that's what this is. It's like artwork on your wall.
Yeah, I know. I do that. I understand it's not systematic.
Yeah.
And as my father used to tell me, he says, "Look, man, just get a simple job. Don't worry about the fancy stuff. Get in and get out. Get paid."
Yeah, well, your father, that's really excellent advice, man. That's a good insight. Like I was saying, the older you get, the wiser you get, and the more that you've seen and you learn. So that's probably really solid advice from him,
And I was saying, like, what do you know, man? I'm a young guy. I know everything. This is
Yeah, so that's more of the same.
Okay.
More of the same there.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, in case you want to know, if you're not looking at us, if you can't see us, how can they reach you, Kevin? This is your business information.
Yeah, so that's our main office location, but if they actually want to, we have to update our website. So we have an office,
100.
It's 100 Horizon Boulevard, right?
Mm-hmm.
So actually, we'll say this slow, and maybe we'll repeat it at the end also. Our new office address where they can send mail if they needed to get in contact with us through mail for some reason, which probably isn't that common anymore. It's 100 Horizon Center Boulevard in Hamilton, New Jersey. So they could reach us there. It's office 321, and that's where they could send the mail and just address it, Homeglow Pros. Our telephone number is 855-456-9776, and when you call into that number, depending on what you're looking for, if you're looking for an estimate or if you need some other kind of question, there's like 4 or 5 extensions that will prompt you through to the right person. Our email address right there, info@homeglowpros.com, and the rest of the information there is just for your own, if you're a potential customer watching this video, it's just for your own knowledge that we're fully insured, guarantee our work, and we're licensed through the state.
And then you have operation.
Yep, hours of operation. Pretty much call us, and we get back to everybody within 24 hours. So those hours do hold true, but we get back to you as quickly as humanly possible. Usually the same day.
All right. And so, Homeglow again. Freshen up, you'll feel better. I like that. It's like
the truth.
It's good when you feel fresh.
Like deodorant or something,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you're not fresh, you're not your best,
And when you do a person's home, it's a very personal thing. It's not just.
Oh yeah. No, it gets deep.
Yeah, it does. And if you don't know that, like in other words, like you're leaving yourself, a little bit of you in that home.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the truth. Yeah, that's very true, Bill. And yeah, especially when you're working inside somebody's home. Interior painting is, those people or that couple or whoever they might be, they're going to walk past your work every single day for the next 5 or 10 years.
Yeah. And then,
So it is personal.
I remember that guy. Yes. All right. Keeping America Beautiful with Allied Pros and Tradespeople, special guest, Kevin Daly of Homeglow. I'm sorry, Tom, I didn't know you.
Boom,
It's okay. It's all right.
So is there anything else you guys want to share today before we say despedida?
I think that's it, Bill. It was very nice meeting you. I know we haven't spoke before, and thank you for doing this with us today.
Yeah, you're an excellent host.
Thank you. I'm trying to make it. It's like when you go to someone's home to work, you have to be an excellent guest.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
What do you guys got going to play for?